back. All right, floor's yours.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Breath of the Wild Master Sword and Dungeons, and I think that we're ready. So, without any more ado, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So this is the latest version of the game, 1.6 on the Switch. It is the fastest version. I am running this category in Italian because it is a bit faster than doing in English or in the other categories, which are French and German. And it has one very special added bonus, which we will notice at the end of the first split. Sorry. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to first make our way out of the Shrine of Resurrection, which, if anyone's played this game casually, you know that you have to endure a bunch of long cutscenes and then go to the tower and all that sort of stuff. And we're not going to do that. We're going to skip all that junk. We're just going to leave the Shrine of Resurrection in a very different, unintended way. First thing we gotta do, though, is we have to pick up the Sheikah Slate. It is a required item. We can't do anything without it. And it's also going to enable us to do the first glitch. And here we go. So Zelda's going to tell us this is the Sheikah Slate, and I should take it, and it will help guide us on our journey. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to use the scope function to clip to the wall on the right side of the shrine. And it requires that I set up the camera in a specific way to do so and have Link running in a specific direction. So give me a moment while I focus on this. First we will mash the scope because it goes into a weird animation. So we do that first to then cancel it. Okay. Very good. So we clip through very quickly. Now we're going to climb up this wall and use a glitch called whistle sprinting to refresh our stamina infinitely. And then we're going to crouch under this rock here, and we're out of the Shrine of Resurrection. So now, as we make our way to the first shrine, which is the Stasis Shrine, I need to pick up some food and some items that are going to help me along the way. So first I'm going to get these guys' attention, and then get their attention again, and take all 6 of these peppers. Oh, I missed one, but that's okay. And get this trusty old pot lid. The best friend of any percent runner. And these 3 shrooms, and then 6 more chilies over here. And as we make our way into the cold area, we're going to get an axe. And that's going to help us do a number of different good things. And then Zelda's going to talk to us. So, just to introduce myself, my name is Jimbo_Moses. I am a Breath of the Wild speedrunner. I've been speedrunning this game since June of last year, 2019. My beasts, and we need to complete 24 shrines to collect spirit orbs so that we can get the Master Sword in the intended way, which is having enough hearts to do so. There is a way to and then we take this bow from this bokoblin. Since you've noticed that we haven't activated the tower, we can't open the door the normal way. So what I need to do is do a shield clip. And I'll do it really quickly and I'll explain it afterwards. Okay. Clip through and then up through the floor. So what I just did there was I did a shield jump onto a sloped surface. And what that does is it stores Link's position tilted backwards from that slope. And what somebody figured out kind of by accident is that you can use that function with another shield jump and unequipping your shield to move Link forward a few frames and then just go right through a wall. And it's very angle specific and very direction specific. But the any percent runners of this game have figured out ways to make it very consistent for all 4 of the plateau shrines. We will eventually get the the Great Plateau Tower, because we need that for the shrines and for the Divine Beasts later and for warp points, but we're going to skip those for now.
If I can just interrupt, there was a little while that cut out from
Oh.
Pretty much the morning shit.
Uh-oh.
Just want to re-say that stuff.
Yeah, sure. So we just did a shield clip to get into the Shrine of Resurrection. Basically, you shield jump onto a sloped surface, and that stores Link's position tilted backwards. And using that exploit, you're able to clip through walls. Sorry about that. Not sure what happened. So we're through the Shrine of Resurrection, and Shrine of Resurrection and the Stasis Shrine with a little or no sweat. Now, after this, we're going to encounter the Old Man, and he usually appears after the first shrine and the Great Plateau Tower is activated. But he's going to go through some text boxes, and we're going to mash through the first, and second options to get through quickly. And then we're going to make our way to the Cryonis Shrine. And the way we're going to do that is with 2 very special glitches. That scream is the best part of this category, and I forget about it every time, but the Italian voice acting for this category is insane. That scream is maybe the best thing in the world. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a stasis launch with a boulder behind the shrine, and then we're going to do what's called a bullet time bounce. And I'm going to explain those things maybe a bit after I do them, but they're kind of complicated and very precise, so I'm going to try and focus on the strats here. So we use the rune that we just got, the stasis rune, which can freeze objects and load them with kinetic energy. Set its direction and ride it up to the top of the hill. And then we're going to make our way to a Bokoblin camp and then use them to fly to the Cryonis Shrine. Oops. Missed the shot there, but that's okay. Oops. Okay, we messed that up, so we got to reload. So I accidentally pressed A too early, and I ended up going down the cliff. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do a shield jump there. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do a shield jump on top of the enemy and go into bullet time at the last second. And that collision is going to cause Link to fly. And basically, we abuse the physics of this game to try and force Link to move 19 times the normal speed up through the air. And then we use a glitch called fall damage cancel to survive that kind of fall, because normally that would just kill Link. And then we do another shield clip into the Cryonis Shrine, using the shrine itself to set our angle. Oh, missed that second one. There we go. And that's one you have to do pretty quickly, because it is possible to just die of cold damage. But that BTB glitch was discovered by a casual player by pure accident. What they did was they were shield surfing, and they jumped on an enemy and shot them in the head in bullet time. And that function of the enemy ragdolling as they hit them caused them to go flying through the air. And from there, people did extensive work to try and figure out what exactly this glitch is and how it can be used. In any percent, and every category that starts in the Great Plateau, which is every category in Breath of the Wild. We use that BTB to get across the plateau in well under 20 minutes. And you can use that glitch to get all the way from the plateau to Hyrule Castle for the final fight in any percent. But we're going to use it a number of times here. Oops, kind of messed that up, but that's okay. now we're going to use a cryo boost to get up to that ledge there. Yep, there we go. I kind of used the movement of the block upward and jumped off of it with my shield to do that. Alright, next we're going to the Magnesis Shrine. But along the way we need to pick up some fire and ice arrows. The fire arrows are going to help us get into one shrine later on in the run, and the ice arrows are going to help us out with those BTBs I was talking about. You can do them, a BTB, off of only red bokoblins normally, but every other enemy needs to be frozen for them to ragdoll and send you flying through the air. So that's why we will be getting those, and I need to get a very specific angle for this. I missed it. They didn't quite walk far enough forward, unfortunately. So that kind of messed up my positioning. But maybe we can get it this next time. Looks good. Alright, that's very good. So we're going to fly basically right to those arrows I was talking about. They're in that little muddy bog below me. I need to do another fall damage cancel. Alright, so basically explaining fall damage cancel a bit better. If you are falling from a great height that would normally hurt Link, and you start throwing a weapon and release it, just as you release it, if you unequip that weapon or your shield, it somehow tricks the game into thinking that you're falling from a different height than you actually are. So we can exploit that to do these BTBs without any problem. Alright, another thing we need to pick up are some arrows and food from these crates, and this is entirely RNG, and it doesn't really harm the run if they're bad, but you'd like it to be a pretty good drop if you can. So I got about 5 arrows, and that's not very good, but it's fine. And we're also picking up this ruby to sell later for some food and for armor that we need to complete the category. Then we do another shield clip into the shrine. Okay. And we're in. Alright. Other than that missed BTB, not too bad. So kind of the weird thing about these plateau shrines is they're done relatively casually, except for that little cryo boost I did. But the bomb shrine is going to have something very different done. And it's a glitch that was discovered last September by a glitch hunter named Satugashi. And it has changed the complexion of every single Breath of the Wild category. And we'll get more into it as we get over there. But first we get the Magnesis rune, which is going to help us out. Not a lot, but we do need it to get off plateau. Every rune is required to get off plateau and get the paraglider from the old man. Just yeet that out of here, and oh, we fell in the water, but that's okay. So this whistle sprinting function comes in a really handy for this category because we don't upgrade any stamina at any point in this category. So being able to whistle sprint and conserve your stamina is very important. Okay.
We have a $10 donation from Lacey who says, "You got this."
Well, thank you very much, Lacey. Thanks for your generosity. Alright, next we're going to be doing a little trick called Box Walk. I'm going to be using the Stasis rune to launch a metal blocks across the water to get the next bokoblin camp and do the next BTB. It saves a little bit of time, it's a bit risky, but it's got a lot of style and swag to it. Okay, got it. And just get these guys in position. Alright, not a great BTB, but we got it nonetheless. Just do another fall damage cancel here. Ah. We accidentally fell on the wrong side of the wall and activated this Guardian, which gives a cutscene, but it's fine. Just loses a few seconds. I'd rather survive the fall than not... sorry, I'd rather get the cutscene than not survive the fall. Right. Do another clip in right here. And we're into the bomb shrines. So now we're going to be doing that glitch I was talking about. It is called a wind bomb, or some call it a bomb impact launch, or BIL. What we're going to do is we are going to jump in the air, forward, drop the circle bomb, and then drop the square bomb, and then use the circle bomb to push the square bomb into Link, sending him flying through the air. So if I get the timing right, we'll be able to skip most of the shrine in just one go. But first, it brings up a little issue that we have with these launches. When you do these shield unequips, these shield jumps and unequips, it messes up Link's physics. So what we need to do is reset it really quickly by doing that. Ah, kind of messed up the timing there. I'll try to do it just one more time, just for the showcase. Okay. Ah. So that's kind of the tricky thing about that ragdoll fix that I did. Sometimes you turn it off, sometimes you turn it on, or sometimes you kill Link. So that's kind of the worst case scenario. The wind bomb fails, and then you kill Link. So that's kind of unfortunate. And what I mean by messing up physics is when you try to launch Link, he just kind of goes nowhere. And that's what happened right there. So, too bad, but, you know, it happens. Okay, try one more time. That looks a bit better. There we go. So that's the wind bomb. That's not a very friendly wind bomb, but, you know, it's one we try out every time. Oops. Okay. Oh my gosh. There we go. Very messy bomb shrine, but hey, it's okay. Alright, now we make our way to the Temple of Time, where the old man is going to give us the paraglider. We're going to do another wind bomb to get to the trees, where we're going to do a tree launch using stasis to get up there as quickly as possible. It can be a bit messy, but hey, we're going to do our best. And kind of the tricky thing about this is that Link will be ragdolling through the air, so I can't do a fall damage cancel. So it needs to be a very low angle wind bomb so that he just kind of like skirts along the ground up ahead.
Ooh.
So he's telling us to head to the Temple of Time. We'll be there in just a moment. And I'm going to stand on this terminal to do this. Aim at a specific spot. I didn't get the bomb drop. Okay. Ah. So that's kind of a a good example of something that can fail with that. What I did was I got speed capped. Like Link basically went into an angle that was too fast for the game to keep up, so it just yanked him back to the ground. So that can happen, but it's something that we go for to try and save a little time. So here comes a tree launch, which is everybody or every speedrunner's favorite trick. It is very finicky, and this tree especially is very fussy. So, chop it down. Ah. And Link decided he didn't want to grab it. That got messed up a little bit by that acorn falling to the ground. And basically, Link is a kind of has a strange attack preferences. That acorn would have been his target if I didn't tilt the camera up. And for whatever reason, he wants to play golf with them, so that's kind of the solution, is to move the camera if it falls down at your feet like that. But there's not really much else you can do. And sort of the weird thing about Link is that he will climb and grab everything that you don't want him to, but anything that you need him to, he refuses. So in that situation, he just decided, nah, not doing it. So we get there casually, we lose some time, that's okay. Next, we need to go to the Great Plateau Tower, now that we have all of the shrines completed, and we need to activate it. And that's going to cut down on a lot of cutscene time as well, because typically when you activate the tower, the old man has his own sort of thing that he does and goes through with you. But we're going to be able to skip all those cutscenes by just doing it after the plateau is complete. And after that, we go into a bit of a shrine rush on our way to Rito Village. So what I'm going to do, now that I have the paraglider, is I'm going to do a mid-air wind bomb into a super launch. There we go. And what I just did there was I kind of buffered the game to make it lag. And then I pulled the glider on that lagging frame so that it would double the speed of the launch. It was a bit off target, but we got here pretty quickly. So now we just need to mash through a few text boxes and cancel a couple of cutscenes. And then we're on our way to the Rota-U shrine. So like I said earlier, in this category, we need to complete 24 shrines in addition, or sorry, total. That counts the Great Plateau. And that's going to get us enough hearts combined with the the Divine Beasts, so that we can pull the Master Sword in the intended way. There is a category that can get the Master Sword with duping or with a glitch called Early Master Sword, but it's kind of fussy and it kind of wastes a lot of time, so they have these categories split in two between restricted and unrestricted. Alright. So now that we've done that, we have activated all the shrines. We can open the door like normal. We don't have to clip into them, which would be a huge headache. Now I need to eat really quickly because I'm going to do another wind bomb to get to Rota-U, and I do not want to die. So it's over in this direction. And that was a backflip wind bomb. And we turned that into a super launch. Basically what I did was I put a square bomb behind Link and backflipped into it. Switch to circle, drop that behind you, and then send that launching Link across over here. And getting a super launch is required here, otherwise you don't make it and you have to back up with other wind bombs or just running. So it saves a whole lot of time to get a super launch. And this shrine is going to be done in a bit of an exploitative way. The game wants you to flip the room around a couple times and get a key and climb up the intended way, but we're just going to cheese it real quick. Oops, missed. Okay. Now that we're on top of here, we just shoot and walk over and we're done. Okay, so that's Rota-U done. Next we head to Kamyatak, which is routed in kind of specifically because there's a diamond inside that we need for purchasing stuff. There's quite a bit of money that needs to be routed in this category because you need armor to buy, you need arrows to buy, and Kamyataka is going to help us with that. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to induce a super launch with something exclusive to the 1.6 update in this game. I'm going to use virtual reality, which is going to render the game twice and cause more lag. So we do another backflip setup. And then we go over to the options. I think we missed it, actually. We actually had the lag, but we missed the launch, unfortunately. Or the frame to get a super. So we'll get most of the way there, but not all the way there as I intended to. Too bad, that's okay. Alright, inside this next shrine, I'm going to do yet another different style of wind bomb. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the normal front hop setup that you saw earlier, but I'm going to turn in midair, and that's going to cause Link to move forward at a much lower and faster angle. And that's going to send me hopefully right to this chest with a diamond in it. Oops. Kind of missed the inputs there. That's okay. Just do it again. Okay. So that little turn caused Link to go at a much lower, faster speed. And I'm going to be doing that again in other shrines as well, or in the overworld to get where I need to go, where super launches aren't so easy. So I think that I should also mention that super launches are very dependent on the environment around you. So when I was on the Great Plateau, trying to go from the tower to Rota-U, I used the trees that are all over the plateau to induce the lag that I needed to drop frames and get the super launch. There are some places like the Gerudo Desert where you just can't get lag no matter what you do. Alright, so now we head to Manyatoma, which is pretty far away, and generally the best way to go very long distances is with BTBs. Oops. And we're going to use a Moblin, which, as I said earlier, BTBs are not possible. Ugh, we're not getting the inputs here. BTBs are not possible off of any enemy that is not a red bokoblin. So if we can just make our way over there. I can show you what I'm talking about. There we go. I'm going to pick up some apples on the way, just for some extra food insurance, because food is the only way to heal Link, and food is very sketchy in this category, because it just wastes time to collect it. So I'm going to get this Moblin's attention, and then I'm going to freeze him when he's neutral, and I'm going to use his shoulder to bounce my way over to the next shrine, which is going to be my first blindfolded one. Ah, looks like we went into bullet time a little too late, which is okay. Just try it one more time. We're going kind of the wrong direction, which is unfortunate. I think that means a reload, unfortunately. That's too bad. I got a bit messed up by the different positioning of the enemy. Alright, so we're back up here, which is a pretty friendly autosave. Just try that one more time. Alright. Did it again. It's too bad. It's a bit farther away, so that's actually gonna help me. There we go. And I kind of buffer the bow there and unequip it as I collide to try and maximize how fast and far I'm going. And we're kind of heading to that short hill just up ahead. And I'm unequipping the glider to try and maximize how far I'm going. But we can't make it all the way there. It's pretty much impossible with this BTB. So we're going to have to kind of run for a second. Okay. Then we're going to do another wind bomb to some luminous stones that we'll collect in order to kind of bridge that money gap a bit better. These guys can just be ignored. Okay. So now, oh, Link really wants to target that guy. So we're heading this direction. Okay, not bad. Alright, we're almost there. After we collect these luminous stones, I'm going to go ahead and slip the blindfold on. The blindfold on. I'm going to try to open the way to the monk without seeing what I'm doing. Okay. If I can get about 5 to 6, that would be pretty great. Only 4. Well, that's fine. Alright, here we go. Slip it on the blindfold in just a second. Okay. Blindfold is on. I'm going to try and use some spacing and hops to get me where I want to go. And it's open. Alright. So that can fail if you don't get it in the right angle, but I was able to pop it just into the right spot. Nice. So missing that BTB was pretty costly, but it's fine. Alright, next we are going to hop down to this stable really quickly. I'm going to collect a little bit of food and cook a little bit. And then I'm going to collect some money and electric arrows as well that are going to help us out later in the game. And just do a quick wind bomb down there. Ah. Okay. There's a hardy radish down here below us. And 3 Endura shrooms, which when you cook one, it gives you a little bit of extra stamina, but it completely refills your whole wheel, so, or how much stamina you actually happen to have. So it's very handy. I'm gonna drop this shield because I don't need it breaking on me at the worst possible time. So we cook these 3. And just for a little bit of safety, I'm going to cook that radish as well. And that gives us full health and a few extra hearts as well. Okay, now we do a wind bomb over to an enemy camp where we steal some arrows and some money. And kind of a funky thing about this game is that if you are opening a wooden chest, you can just break it with a hammer. So we need those electric arrows for a shrine later. pick up this rupee because those luminous stones didn't help us out very much. And we eat really quickly because we will die if we try and do a wind bomb. So, funny thing about wind bombs, no matter what armor you have on, whether some or none, it will always be 1 heart of damage. Always. It's the most like consistent thing that you can rely on for damage in this game, or in these speedruns. So we're a little bit low, which is a bit scary, but we're gonna get there just fine. Now we're at the Magnara Shrine, which is just a blessing, which is a bit strange, but for speedrun purposes, we're not gonna argue with it. The chest inside of the shrine has 100 rupees, but we can just go ahead and ignore that, because we got a quick one a moment ago. Breaking those chests obviously skips the chest animation of Link opening it and then the game showing you what you got. Okay, now it's on to Rito Village, and we're gonna get there using a BTB because it's pretty far away. This one's a bit more friendly than the one that I just did. And it's a setup discovered by, well, not discovered, but it's a kind of a specific setup made by the world record holder in this category. It is possible to get all the way to Rito Village with just 1 stamina wheel, but pretty hard. So do a mid-air wind bomb to get into position. I'm going to use that fella just down there. We shoot this wall, draws him over, and I freeze him as he looks right. And we're going to jump on the middle of his back. I'm doing that bow unequip thing to maximize our speed and stamina. And we're not going to make it all the way there with the stamina we have left, but we have that stamina refill food we just made, so it's no problem. And kind of a coin flip here is whether or not we're going to get the Meadow cutscene or not before we do this shrine. Occasionally you get here so fast that the game doesn't realize where you are or what to do, so it just lets you walk through the village for a while. And I'm guessing it's gonna happen. Nope, guess not. So we'll go ahead and take care of this shrine before the cutscene happens. Alright, gonna do another turn wind bomb here. Okay, we survived, that's all that really matters. Alright, and as we leave the shrine, the game is going to catch up to where we are, and it's going to play 2 cutscenes. One we can skip, one we can't. One thing that I should notice is that after every shrine, I wait until that last bit of text disappears before I press X, and that causes the game to load a lot faster in the transition. So now Meadow screams because we entered the area, and we can go ahead and skip that one. And now Zelda is going to tell us that's a divine beast, it's been taken over by Ganon, you should try to free it, etc, etc. You usually don't get this cutscene if you go to where the game wants you to go after Great Plateau, which is to Impa. But we're not going to be doing that in this category. Okay, now for requirements for the main quest here, we need to speak to the Elder, and we need to speak to Tebba's wife in order to get the shrine, or sorry, get the Divine Beast quest going. We gotta sit through another little cutscene here that we can skip. but we gotta sit here and wait for Link to realize that he's remembering things. Link has snapped to it, so now we can go ahead and move on. So, in this category, we don't get the Rito armor, which will protect us from the cold in the next dungeon. What we do is we buy food in order to make food that's going to protect us, basically through this entire upcoming section and the next one as well. It's going to give us 12 minutes, 12 and a half minutes of double cold protection. And it could be done without it, but it'd be very scary to do it without it. Coming up next is Shawarvo, which is a pretty basic shrine. But still kind of annoying, because as I mentioned a little while ago, Link will grab anything and everything you don't want him to, and grab nothing that you need him to. So I need him to grab a ladder here in a moment, and I'm hoping that he'll at least vaguely cooperate. Ah. So that wind bomb is only worth it if you get it immediately, because there's a moving platform right here that will block you and make you just fall into the abyss, so not worth it if you don't get it right away. Alright, so here's that ladder. Okay, he decided today he wants to grab it. Basically done casually. Not really much to it. Alright. Now that we got all of those shrines out of the way, we can move on to doing the Va Meadow main quest. And first we need to cook and collect a couple bows that we need. And we need to talk to Teba and do a little mini game. And there's a little bit of a speed exploit we can do to make that faster, which I'll go through in a second. Okay, Link deciding he wants to smash his head into the wall. There we go. Oh no, I just saw that I was low on health and I tried to pause to eat, but that's unfortunate. Like, I died just as I pressed pause. That sucks. Well, I'm playing sloppy, so it fits. Let's try that again. Anywho, make our way over to this platform. Take this. And I'm going to drop the bow that we've been carrying because it's just going to clog up our inventory later. Cook 3 chilies and 2 sun shrooms. And that gives us that 12.5 minutes that we need to cover Meadow and to cover the Gerudo Highlands, which are coming up right after that. So what we're going to do to make this cutscene, or this little mini game a bit easier, is shoot that arrow at that target and go through a million text boxes with Teba as he decides whether or not you are worthy not to help him. And the game gives you an unnatural amount of time to do this. It gives you 1.5 minutes to shoot 5 targets. We're going to get it done in about 10 seconds. There's one. 2, 3. There we go. Alright, now that we're done with that, we're going to pick up a falcon bow, which is in that chest over to the left. It's a very handy weapon. Both of these bows, the swallow bow and the falcon bow, have a much longer range than normal bows, and shoot faster too, so pretty handy. Now that we're done talking with Teba, he's going to take us up to do the assault on Meadow. We need to just shoot out a few different cannons, and then we're going to be allowed in. Alright, now that we're done talking, it's time to blow up some stuff. Kind of the handy thing about this fight is every time you pull your glider, it refreshes your stamina. If that wasn't the case, this would be very difficult. Those two. Ah, we missed a shot. No problem. Alright, and I switch over to normal arrows because we're going to need those for the upcoming puzzles and stuff. And it's just nice to not waste any bomb arrows because you need them to fight. Okay, cut through a couple cutscenes. And now Rivali is going to tell us that we need to go activate the main terminal, but we're going to do this without doing anything intended.
Ma guarda, sapevo che... Beh. Per prima... La vedi qui?
Okay. Now that we're done with that, just go ahead and leap over this. And glide over to this little ledge. Oh god, that's never happened. Unfortunate. To the max. But hey, it's a marathon, right? Okay. We're up here, gamers. Okay. Now, shoot out this eye. And then this to open up some wind. Take out this eye as well. And glide our way to the first terminal. And we ignore quite a bit of malice eyes in this dungeon because we just don't really need to interact with them. But there are some that open up wind paths like this one that we do need. And the game wants us to do this like a tilting puzzle and magnesis ball stuff, and we're just gonna ignore it and glide right through this window. Get this one. Okay. Now we go ahead and fall down here to get this next terminal. And we're going to intentionally void out so it sends a link back up to a higher spot. There is a wind bomb that you can do to send yourself over to where we need to go, but it's very difficult and very risky. So we'll just take the normal route. And we're going to glide underneath the neck of the Divine Beast. And then shoot that eye out in the distance. There we go. It is possible to get through there without doing that, but it's just much safer to take the time to shoot it. So now we're going to do a couple little things here. We're going to open up this wind path, shoot out this eye, because that drops 10 ice arrows that we need for the boss fight. Okay. Now we stasis this thing, hit it 3 times, and then pull this fan over to open the gate, and let it do its thing. Okay. Now that's all the terminals done in just a couple minutes. And we're ready to go fight Windblight, which can be a very trolly fight, but we're gonna play it pretty safe here. With this little stamina, there's a pretty specific combat strat we're going to use. We're going to headshot him 3 times with bomb arrows, and then headshot him 3 more times with ice arrows, and then headshot him 2 more times with more bombs. It's kind of far away, which is unfortunate. Okay, it looks like I missed 1 headshot. And he's kind of in a weird spot here, so it's going to be difficult to hit. I'm going to wait till he gets up. Alright, we got him. Okay. Just the same thing again. Alright, we got him. And I needed to conserve 2 ice arrows there, 'cause otherwise that makes the next BTB we're doing here in a minute very difficult. So in a little bit of trouble with arrows, but it's all good. So that's Vomito, done in about 6 minutes or so.
So we've got a $10 donation. Amai says, sponsored by Drakengard. Thank you, Amai.
Thank you. Alright, now that we are done with this Divine Beast, we'll go ahead and make our way over to the Gerudo Desert, and we need to stop at a few shrines along the way. Alright, but first, I need to pick up the Great Eagle Bow from here, which is one of the best weapons in the game. Attack is very high, it shoots 3 arrows, and it's going to help us take down all of the bosses for the rest of the game. Okay. Now we go behind the shrine to set up this next wind bomb. We're going to kind of make our way towards the tower over here in the distance. And then go past it. Okay, we were able to get a super launch, which is really important. And then we're going to do another one to the TLoZ shrine. Got a little gun shy there. There we go. Okay, got another super. That's good. Alright, so coming up is a major test of strength, which I don't know if you've noticed, but you don't have the weapons to do a major test of strength. So what we're going to do is a little trick that is exploited in pretty much mostly all shrines and in 100%, but we're going to do it once here. We need to set skew against the shrine. We're going to use that skew to clip through the wall and ignore the guardian completely. And kind of the weird thing about these test of strength clips is that though there is a fence that you can see through, it's too thick to go through normally. There is a way to clip through in a different shield method, but it's a bit less precise or reliable. So what we're going to do is clip through the pillar next to the gate. Oops. Alright, kind of missed the clip, but that's okay. Alright, we're in the wall. And we need to do another one. Okay. Alright, we're out. Perfect. And I need to trip Link over his shield to reset his physics because those shield clips cause him to fail those launches. But we're through and that's all that matters. It's a very scary part of the run because any shot from that Guardian will kill Link instantly. Alright, coming up is a BTB to the Gerudo Highlands. We're going to be doing the Kihayu Shrine, which is the very reason why we picked up electric arrows earlier in the run. And first we need to get this moblin ahead of us in a very specific spot, or at least facing in a very specific direction. Okay. Get his attention, then surprise him, and make sure that we have actual arrows equipped because otherwise we'll be in very big trouble. Alright, we got it. Hopefully we have enough speed and stamina to get us all the way up to that ledge and that design there on the mountain. But if not, we have stamina food we can eat to take care of it. And looks like we'll be just fine. And I'm equipping fire arrows because we need that for the next shrine in Katakar. It's a shrine surrounded by ice. We need to melt it to get through. But Kihayu, there's nothing really to it. This is one of those kind of long shrine quests that the game intends you to see from far away and talk to a guy who tells you, oh, I hear legends if you shoot that with an electric arrow, then you can do this or that. But they intend it to be pretty easy, or the actual questing part is getting here. So this shrine is just a blessing. But it does have a diamond inside, and we need that for money later. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up. Not much to it. Alright, so coming up is Kotakar. It's a shrine that was kind of figured out the quickest way to do a very long time ago, and it's probably never going to change, and you'll sort of see in a second why that is. First we need to get there, and that's going to involve getting up to this ledge here. And you'll notice that we still have 4.5 minutes left on that double cold protection, so Link isn't going to take any more cold damage, at least while we're up here. And we do a backflip setup into a super launch. Yeah, I don't really trust that. There we go. Okay, we got it. And I'm going to pick up a couple of hardy truffles down here, just for a little bit of food insurance. Because like I said, food in this category is a bit scary. So there's that ice block I was talking about. And I'm going to kind of shoot it as I make my way down. And there are 5 more fire arrows down here. We're going to ignore all these Lizalfos, and hopefully they don't cause us any trouble. And those ice wizards shouldn't notice us. Okay. And I switched to a normal arrow because we're going to do a stasis launch here really quickly. The way this shrine is done casually is you have to bring an ice block up to the monk, but it takes forever, and also there's a little cutscene that it goes through when it tells you what it wants. So we're going to use a bomb to blast the ice block out of there, avoid the cutscene, and then we're going to stasis launch the ice block up to the monk, and with it ourselves. Actually, I want to back up just slightly. There we go. Okay. Shoot an arrow to set its direction. Alright, looks good. Alright, we open the door, and we got Link up there too. Perfect. Pardon my coughing. I've been sick this week, and it's not feeling great, but you know, it's okay. Okay. Now we make our way to a cave where we're going to collect some weapons and some money. And then we're going to make our way down to Gerudo Town, where I'm going to do my next blindfolded shrine. We missed that. Do a turn wind bomb, and that gives Link enough speed to get all the way down here. Normally that launch would be pretty slow, but it gives us enough speed to at least get to this little ledge here where we can shield surf. And then do another mid-air wind bomb to get us to that cave I was talking about. There we go. And this is I wouldn't call this a glitch really, but I don't know if the game necessarily thinks that you would do this. Oh, a little enemy. That's a very odd spawn for him, but there we go. So we use a weapon and just magnesis this boulder out of the way. And we're going to pick up the Radiant Shield, which is the best shield in this game. Not only is it very durable, but... not sure what Link was doing there. but it's very slippery, so when you are on sand or grass, you get so much more speed than is typical. But we get that money, and we get those bomb arrows for just a little bit of comfort. And then we're going to hopefully do another super launch down to Gerudo Town. And I'm going to need VR to do this. Looks like we got it. Okay. That should give us enough speed. And we're high up in the air where it's cold, but we still have that cold protection. And I am going to go ahead and eat after I land. So that, well, I'll do it now. That I can go ahead and be sure that I'll survive this launch coming up. So I ran out of stamina just short, but that's getting us where we need to go. And this guy we have to talk to because he starts the main quest for Vondaboris. He basically tells us that men aren't allowed in the village. Here, I'm going to go ahead and slip the blindfold on. I'll explain in a second. Ow. You messed it up. I gotta reload. Kind of tricky to do wind bombs when you can't see what you're doing. And we're in, okay. Pretty weird, pretty tricky, but we got in. Alright, so what I was saying is that that guy tells you that men aren't allowed in Gerudo Town, but someone's found out a way to get in by disguising yourself, so we're gonna go meet that person and buy Gerudo Vi clothing from them so that we can get in.
Okay, so we have another donation. So Lolly Trash donates $10 and says, "You really mean I can write anything I want and you guys would have to read it out loud?" Technically no, but sometimes we do. So that's actually going to mean visuals for Hollow Knight. So visuals get 50%, but now the goal gets extended by another 40. So to get another 40, we'll do all skills instead, which is the longer run of that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, keep it making moves.
Thanks for your donation. So we missed that super launch, unfortunately. So we're going to do another one here. Another wind bomb. And that should get us to Vila, who's going to sell us this armor. And here we get the Vondaboris cutscene. Go ahead and talk to her. Get the armor. Excuse me. And we have more than enough money here from that gold rupee that we got from the cave and from the stuff that we sold earlier. So now I should be able to get into the Gerudo Town without any trouble. And I'm going to do another turn wind bomb to get Link over there. Okay. Get into this position. Aim between here. And that should send us most of the way. And I'm I'm gonna eat because we're gonna be going back to Katakar, which we just left, so that we can do the Yiga hideout. But first, in order to activate that part of the quest, we have to talk to Riju, the chieftain here. And I gotta be careful to not go into the cutscene before they're there, because the game can soft lock if they're not present. So we go ahead and mash through some more text here. Basically, the game telling you that the Thunder Helm, the relic and the heirloom of their tribe, was stolen by the Yiga clan, and in order to prove that you are serious about helping them out, you need to go get it back. And typically in casual play, and in most of the speedruns up until maybe 6 months ago or so, we were pretty sure that you had to go through the Yiga hideout the intended way, but now we have a way of getting through without doing any of the hideout. We're basically just going to clip through the back of the hideout, clip back in, and then go out the back door and fight Koga. And then he, once he's defeated, will surrender the Thunder Helm. Alright. So we do that same turn-away bomb again. Oof, I did not like that, apparently. Okay. We'll eat again just for a little bit of safety, because we don't want to die from cold damage. Okay. Tough to say what happened there. It could have been a dead angle or a lag cap, but we were able to get through anyway. And we're going to use this Edge of Duality for the fight. So I set skew in the back of the shrine, and then jump basically behind this pillar, and it pushes us right in. Then we climb this wall, and we're in. Easy peasy. And I'm going to pick up these arrows, because my arrow count is very low. I'll go ahead and grab this just for a little bit of money insurance. Last thing you want to do is run out of cash during a marathon run. Okay, so now we're ready to fight Koga. This fight is not difficult, but one cycling is, especially with the small amount of stamina that we have. And I actually need to switch bows really quickly as the fight starts to the Great Eagle Bow. It's going to give me more damage. So yeah, like I said earlier, we used to have to go through the entire Yiga hideout to activate this, but you can just go in through the back and Koga will appear. No stealth required. Although, if you do whistle sprint on your way over to the back door, it will draw a guard over, and he can make things a bit messy. So I was pretty careful to not whistle sprint there. Okay, Great Eagle Bow. Shoot him twice. And then go for double hits. Alright, we got him. So there's a weird glitch in this game where if you turn backwards from an enemy and approach them from the left, you can get double hits for some reason. So we're exploiting that to make this one cycle a bit easier. So I gotta wait for the boulder to glide over his head, and then hit him with it. A bit far away. Ah, I messed that up. So we gotta wait for him to do it again. It's always one hit. Alright, so you notice that we clipped in through the back of the shrine. That means that we messed with the physics of Link yet again. So I need to very quickly reset Ragdoll while he's recovering himself. And then pull it down his head and the fight's over. So unfortunately, this is a pretty unskippable cutscene here. These two long text cutscenes. If there was a way to get the Thunder Helm without doing it, we would be doing it, but that is not something that exists just yet. So now that he's defeated, I need to make my way back into the hideout and collect some money. And that should be all of our rupee routing for the rest of this category. He vows revenge as he falls and says that his servants will hunt me to the end of the earth, but we're not going to encounter any Yiga clansmen throughout the rest of this fight, which is pretty nice because they're pretty obnoxious. So grab the Thunder Helm. And earlier we picked up the duplex bow inside of the Yiga hideout for a very specific reason. And that is for the assault coming up on Naboris. It's going to make that fight pretty easy. First we shoot out this tapestry here and grab 600 rupees from these chests. Okay, and we go ahead and climb up here, where we're going to get some bananas, which are going to make attack potion for us, or attack food rather, and that's going to make the boss fights a lot easier, because cooking them together makes a triple attack food that is very handy. Now that we're done with that, we can head back to Gerudo Village, and we're going to get the assault going. On our way, we need to go ahead and sell all of the stuff that we've collected and buy arrows as well. So we sell both our diamonds and this ruby. And I'm going to buy all these normal arrows just for some extra security. I'm going to buy one ice arrow bundle and all three of these electric. And then we're going to go ahead and cook the food that we need for the upcoming fights. Oh, I decided to not be cooked. Makes sense to me. There we go. So these are going to be for Thunderblight, Fireblight, Waterblight, and for Ganon. And without them, these fights would not be very much fun. Or at least they wouldn't be possible with the food or the weapon constraints that we have right now. So I'm going to go ahead and eat my hearty meal, because I have been messed up by Riju before and killed because she didn't catch up to me. You'll find out what I mean in a second with that. So we give the Thunder Helm over to her, and that triggers another memory to skip. Excuse me. Okay. Now that we're done with that memory, Riju is going to make her way over to the watchtower in the distance. And then we can begin the assault. Alright, one wind bomb super launch over, and then we should be on our way. Okay, we got it. A bit far left, but that's okay. The important thing is that we made it. We can get bomb arrows ready, because we need those for the assault. Basically, the reason why we got this duplex bow is because it fires 2 shots at once, and if we can hit the feet of Naboris correctly, we should be able to take it out in just 4 shots instead of 8, which is what is intended. So it's not necessarily a glitch; it's more of an exploit of the game's mechanics. It makes the fight pretty simple. So earlier I ate that hearty meal to give myself full health and extra hearts. And with that, if for some reason Riju doesn't catch up to me and protect me with this protective shield, it won't kill me if it zaps me. So occasionally, so I'm going to go as fast as I can, obviously, toward Naboris, but occasionally Riju just leaves you hanging out to dry. So either way, we are protected from it. And this track is one of the true bangers in this game. And there's our boy right there on the right. I'm going to basically go as straight as possible, and then maybe a bit to the left as we get closer. So now he starts targeting us. So we're going to slow down, and hopefully Riju will catch up and protect us as she is supposed to. There she is. So now we can go ahead and take the feet out. And looks like we got it. Nice. Pretty clean. Alright, coming up is, I think it's the most difficult Divine Beast, just from a technical point of view. Maybe other ones are difficult to make quick, but this one is a bit of a pain. And you'll see why in just a second. So same thing as Mado. Urbosa is going to go ahead and tell us to go activate the terminal, the main terminal. We will do that, but much later in the Divine Beast, because we do need to be able to manipulate it in the intended way. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to use the function of this duplex bow to get one of the terminals in a non-intended way. The game wants you to activate the main terminal and go ahead and activate and electrify the entire Divine Beast, and then use that to move the neck up and use an elevator to get there, but we're going to do that without activating anything. Skip this guy. We use a gale to go up to the top of the beast. We turn this around clockwise until the electric terminal is facing up. And then I'm gonna set skew against this sloped surface so that we can use that to do what's called an extended shield clip here in just a few minutes. So I'm gonna go silent for a second while I concentrate on this. Hop up here and then shoot 2 arrows. So we got that in, got Link in position. All right, we got it. So I had to quickly walk in to the neck, or into the head, and then walk back to activate it, and then fall out the back of it to get up here. So that's pretty perfect. Let me use another gale to get up here. Let me shoot this guy and shoot this guy. Can't forget this terminal. I have before. Okay, oops. Yeah, shoot this. That opens the doorway for us. And then we use another gale to get over this fence. So what I was mentioning earlier was the reason why we got skew was for an extended shield clip. And what that is it's a method of getting through thicker walls when a normal clip won't suffice. And I'll kind of explain it before, but it's kind of hard to picture just with words. But first we need to activate the main terminal so that we can turn the last area into our availability. So an extended shield clip is done by doing a normal shield jump and unequip, just like a normal skew clip. But I'm going to buffer to a specific frame and then do another shield jump in midair. And that extra shield jump is going to hopefully yank Link through the wall that I'm going to try to get through. It's not very easy or reliable, and it is frame perfect. But if we can get it, it'll save quite a bit of time. So first, we get that spinning, and I'm going to kill this guy and take his sword. And then we hop in here, the last terminal. And this wall, this gate here ahead of me, that's the one I'm going to try to clip through with that extended shield clip. Alright, here we go. Looks like my skew is really strong, which isn't ideal. I'll give it one more shot and then we'll give up. Okay. So, what happened there was my skew was too strong. Link was tilting back too much, which can make the ESCs kind of tricky. Just trying to quickly reset my ragdoll so that I don't get into any trouble with launches later. Alright, now that we got that together, we're going to go ahead and eat this attack up food and take on the Thunderblight. Which, if I do it correctly, it should be pretty quick. Missed some shots there, but that's okay. Alright, now we need to knock him out of midair in the intended way. He's kind of over there, that's good. Electrify this pole, zaps him. And we got him, good. No problem. Okay. We get through these cutscenes, and that is 2 Divine Beasts down. Okay, now we're going to make our way over to Varuta. But along the way we need to do a number of shrines to get us up to that magical number 24. We have 14 done so far, so we need 10 more done before we can finish the category. So we warp back to basically where we started, the Great Plateau Tower. I'm going to go ahead and set up another backflip wind bomb. Hopefully, oops. Hopefully get another super launch. Not required, but it helps. Okay. Yeah, Link's being a little weird. Yeah, I don't really like that. There we go. It's kind of a fussy setup, but it gets the job done. Alright, coming up is the most difficult shrine in the entire game. But with a little bit of luck, we can slice through it like nothing. Okay. And looks like we just managed to do it. I kid, of course. It's a very simple shrine. It's very near the Great Plateau. They kind of intend you to do it easily. It looks like I'm dropping frames. At least the capture card is acting up. Is it looking okay on everyone else's end? Oops. Alright, we're going to do another super over here to the next shrine. Looks like we got it. It's good. wind bomb that's gonna bounce me off this wall. And it worked just fine.
Alright, so Visuals donated $5. Says, looking forward to running Hollow Knight later tonight. Hopefully we can get all skills instead of any percent. Either way, I'm just glad to help. Thank you, Visuals. You'll see him around 10 o'clock Eastern, so in 4 hours.
Alright, thank you. Oh boy. Got kind of a weak launch there, so we're gonna have to back this up. Kinda too bad, but you know, it happens. I think I was able to straighten out the choppiness coming from my capture card. Alright. This next shrine, we're going to do a quick turn wind bomb that's going to hopefully send us all the way to the monk. Usually gotta swim a bit to get through this. Shoot. There we go. Ah. Okay, we were able to stop before I fell into the water. Alright, not ideal, but not bad either. Okay. Alright, now we make our way over to Kaiawan, and on the way we're going to pick up some food to kind of make the end game a bit cleaner for us. Kind of unusual, we didn't get any lag there, but not bad either. So we're going to pick up a handful of hardy radishes. Okay. And this one is done fairly casually. Unfortunately, the ceiling is pretty low, so there's not really any clean wind bombs that one can do to get through here. But we can at least exploit a few things to make it faster. So I'm going to do a cryo boost here onto that one on the wall, or the waterfall. And shoot this guy. And place a block just right there. And we'll just clear over. Alright, not bad. Okay. Next, we're going to be doing a little bit of cooking. Pressed X a little early there. We're going to be doing a little bit of cooking, and then coming up next is Sheirata, which is my third of 4 blindfolded shrines I'm going to be doing. kind of one I'm a bit nervous about because the wind bomb is a bit strange.
Il turbine di Revali è pronto.
So I'm going to cook some of those radishes I just picked up to kind of make the Eldon area a bit less scary. Okay. Get in position here. I think the bombs were a bit too close to one another there. And that's why that one failed. Alright, that's better. And I'm going to eat, so we're not in any trouble with dying. And I'm going to set up a backflip wind bomb here. There's usually some choo-choos who like to appear right as I'm setting this up. Which they appear to be absent. Kind of a miracle. Alright. After I enter this shrine, I'll go ahead and slip the blindfold back on. Okay, blindfold goes on. I gotta try that again. Wasn't able to get the wind bomb together. And we're in, okay. Very scary one. Doesn't seem like it should be that hard, but it's scarier than you think. Alright. Now we do one more shrine, and then we're heading up to Zora's Domain. And we're going to be setting up a BTB here with a Lizalfos, which yeah, this is our first Lizalfos BTB in this category. These guys are not very reliable. Their hitboxes are a very strange shape. So I need to manipulate and hit him in a very specific way. So I'm going to get him to walk over here. And I'm going to use an ice block to get in position. Aim at his left side and pray. Ah, that's bad. That's too bad. I went much farther left than I meant to. But that's okay. We will put ourselves somewhere and get there eventually. I think the issue with that one was that I was a bit too close to him. So I wasn't able to go into bullet time when I wanted to. But one quick wind bomb and we should hopefully be up to Tomu where we want to be. Oops. Okay. It's just over these hills here. Usually, in commentated runs, we like to joke that this is the hardest shrine in the game. Truth is, it's the biggest joke. I don't know how they decided that this would be a worthy challenge of anybody, and you'll see why in a second. Basically, you blow up these boxes, run up this hill, and we're done. Pretty mediocre, but hey, they can't all be gems. Alright, now we make our way to Zora's Domain. Kind of a tricky BTB we need to do, and a BTB is necessary because Zora's Domain is pretty far away, and it's very high, or at least the mountains surrounding it are very tall, so we need to do a BTB here to get into the domain. Do a quick wind bomb over here to this enemy camp, and for a little bit of insurance, I'm gonna take these guys out, and then get everyone's attention, shoot an arrow here, and then wait for an enemy to come out and let him turn right. Okay. I want to land about there. Okay, that looks pretty solid. About as good as I could hope for. And I'm going to do another backflip wind bomb to bridge the rest of the distance, because I don't have enough speed, or stamina really, to get where I want to go. But this will get us all the way there. Alright, pretty darn good. Link? Okay. Link deciding he doesn't want to climb things. Makes sense, makes sense. Climbing is not a function of this game, is it? Alright. We're at the domain. So, unfortunately, this is a very dense cutscene and text box section of this game, and we can't do anything about it. So, while I'm sitting here mashing A and B, I thought maybe I'd give a little history of this category. So Master Sword and Dungeons is on the extensions boards. Well, it's not on the extensions boards, but it's not on the main boards of Breath of the Wild, despite kind of the variety that it brings to the game. You get shrines, you get dungeons, you get Ganon, you get all the different glitches showcased. One of the biggest pioneers of this category is a speedrunner named Diederik. And he and others have put in a lot of work to try and figure out the best ways of doing this category. Names that come to mind are Outer Earth, Moonswing 27, and Vivox, who has the world record in this category. They've all collaborated together to try and figure out the best way to do this category over the years, and they've come up with basically what you see today. I myself am mostly just a runner of this game, or of this category. I haven't really contributed much in the way of strategies or routing. But it's got a lot of history to it, and I think it's important to at least mention those guys. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time this category has ever been run in any kind of marathon setting. The only other categories to be showcased are Any Percent at GDQ, and at ESA this past February, Limcube, an All Shrines runner, did the All Shrines category with myself as commentator. And apart from that, it doesn't really have much representation at marathons. So I'm pretty honored to bring this to you guys today. It's been a long time coming, I think. So we got the Zora's armor, and we have to put it on because it's part of, like, just getting this cutscene stuff together. Otherwise, this cranky old Zora won't talk to you. And we got yet more things to mash through here. But we're almost through. So we're getting the memory triggered here, which activates the assault quest. Okay. Link confirming that he remembers Princess Mifa from 100 years ago. And that the armor he's wearing fits him correctly, therefore proving that it's for him. And the only reason we really need it is because it gives Link the power to go up waterfalls. And we only use it once, but, you know. Well, actually we use it twice. Once in the assault and then after the Divine Beast. Alright, just a little bit more and then we're done. And there we go. Okay, one more shrine to do, and then we're on our way to Divine Beast Vah Ruta for not a difficult fight, but it's difficult to one cycle, and I'm going to do my best to get it first try. So this one's pretty simple. Just bounce Link off the wall like a pinball. Oh. Well, that wind bomb failed, but whoa, that rock almost killed me. Pretty fortuitous way to bounce. Anyway, we'll take that one. Okay, now we can go ahead and head to Vah Ruta. We gotta go meet Sidon up at the lake to get that going. So I'm gonna do one wind bomb and then a midair to try and get there as quickly as possible. Use this cryo block here just for an easy spot to go from. Okay, pretty good. Now we midair. And we got it. Say what up to our boy Sidon and get the cryo rune set. That's going to help us make this fight a lot easier. So this fight done casually, you're supposed to shoot 4 spots on Ruta with electric arrows, but there's an exploit we can use to hit one terminal from the water, and then if we are careful we can hit the other 3 without falling back down to the water. The game intends you to do just one at a time, and then you get these long attack patterns from Ruta. But I'm going to go ahead and try to avoid those if possible. And if I don't get the shot from the water, I'm going to try and do it in 2 cycles instead of 1. Because trying to do it all in 1 and hit all 4 is not possible. At least I can't do it. Shoot that one down. Knock these out of there. Take aim at this guy. And looks like we missed. So we're going to do it in 2. Okay. I'm going to take out these ice blocks. Ah. Oops. So I could have gone for a 3rd one, probably. But if I had done that, it would have set up a really tedious, long attack cycle. So we're just going to go ahead and do the safe way. Fight over. Now we move on to the Divine Beast itself. And this isn't a particularly difficult Divine Beast like Morris, but getting the quick cycles is kind of tough because it requires you to go through the Divine Beast really quickly and get the natural cycles of the Divine Beast before it moves on. Okay. Alright, now we get Mifa telling us what we already know. Go activate the main terminal, which we will do. We do need to manipulate the trunk of Varuta in order to complete the Divine Beast.
Quindi sempre sei venuto. In tal caso.
Alright, we're heading towards there, but not right away.
Raggiungi que.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this eye in the water, kill this guardian so he doesn't cause trouble for us, and then spin this as quickly as possible. Ah. Sometimes Link gets caught on the lip and doesn't get a good jump.
Restano ancora.
Oh, okay. Alright, now that we got control, I'm going to move the trunk into the most upright position, and I'm going to use Gales to get all the way up there. The game kind of intends you to take your time to get up there, but we're going to get up there in a very short amount of time.
Bravo. Ora guardala per riconquistare coraggio.
Okay. Move that in position. Gale here. Then Gale here. And lastly, right here. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to move the trunk again into the 5th position. That's going to move us into the next terminal.
Restano ancora.
Oh, kind of spiked by those flames there, unfortunately. Not what I meant to do. I'm hoping that this guy doesn't give us any issues.
Restano solo due.
Okay. Where are we at? Okay. This looks like we're getting a decently fast cycle here. So you're able to get that one down below in position, and then get this if the game would register. There we go.
Resta solo un...
Okay. And we're clear. That's all Varuta.
Osserva la mappa, tieni gli occhi ben.
Okay, break that, and then jump down to the boss fight. We can go ahead and get bomb arrows and eat, and we're ready. So we can knock him down,
Puoi arrivare molto lontano.
shoot him while he's down. He didn't have his head turned toward us, so that kind of made that messy, unfortunately. Wow. Oh, I forgot I needed to get over to the left, that's fine. Because he's going to raise the water in 4 platforms here, but no problem. We can get back on, no problem, and then we're going to knock him down with bomb arrows again.
Adesso hai poco spazio di manovra. Fai attenzione.
I'm getting poor luck here. He's not turning his head towards me in the way that he typically does, which is making this fight pretty bad. Glad it's I don't think I've ever had that kind of RNG there, where he doesn't get up with his head facing you. But it's fine. It's marathon luck, I guess. Just trying to get my arrows in gear here. Alright. So that's Divine Boost, the Divine Beast Varuta down. We just have one more left, and we have 3 more shrines to do. Okay. We're going to get to Goron City via a BTB up on top of a mountain. Ah, yes. You need bombs if you want to do wind bombs. Do a super here. We use the armor, the Zora's armor, to get up this waterfall. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wind bomb over to a Lizalfos, and I'm going to set him up in a way that's going to send me all the way to Goron City, hopefully. And if not, there are backups. So we use this ice block here. Get ourselves a ledge. Okay. Got that super. Not required, but it helps. And I'm going to do a safety save here, just in case this goes poorly. There's our guy right there. I'm gonna shoot at this little piece of grass here. Pull him over this way. Freeze him right there. Aim at this spot and pray. Okay. And I'm re-equipping a metal bow, because any other bow is going to burn as I'm flying. And I'm a bit far left, so I'm going to go for the safety spot here. So basically right now I'm flying through a burning zone, which will kill me if I'm not careful. But I'm going to fly basically through it to a safety spot on the other side, and then go to Goron City. So I'm on fire, but it's okay. Do a backflip setup here. I kicked over the bomb, that's okay. Alright, we got a super, and this will take us basically... I'm going to eat really quickly so that I don't waste any food or any power that I don't want to. We landed right in front of an armor shop, and that's going to be really good for us because we need to buy 2 sets to protect ourselves. In the all dungeons category, which is pretty similar to this, minus the shrines of course, and the Master Sword, you only buy 1 because the game gives you enough flame-proof elixir that you can survive, but the money exists in this category that you might as well just buy 2 sets. So then you don't have to worry about taking heat damage at any time. Alright, now we gotta go talk to the Elder, without whom this quest doesn't start, just like all the other ones. Basically, he wants us to go save his nephew, I guess, Yunobo, who has the ability to help us with the assault on Va Rudania. But he says he needs some painkillers for his hurt back. I don't know why Gorons would have painkillers, but there you go. So we're gonna do the Shamo-Sa shrine really quickly, just to get us on track with getting the Master Sword. Pretty simple shrine. It used to involve a pretty difficult stasis trick where you would stasis this barrel and then flip on top of it just as it was released and knock yourself up through this hole. Wind bombs make it pretty simple. Okay. Just do that. And then stasis this switch in place, and we're done. Alright, now we go save Yunobo. And there is a way that we can skip all the intended strats. There's two different methods here. The first one I'm going to try is to try and launch ourselves so fast that we skip past the rock wall that's fencing him in, because otherwise you would just blow it up with the game's built-in cannons. And if that fails, we will do an ESC through the rock wall on the side. Okay, we got a super. Is it enough? The wall's not there. Ah, it loaded right in our faces. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. Okay, you get skew there. Yeah. This is kind of a fussy ESC here. Oh, looks like we lost our skew. So you can lose your skew by just shield jumping and bonking on any other surface. Okay, now we're through. We're going to open this chest because it has ice arrows in it that are going to help us a lot. Now we can save him. And basically clipping through or like skipping past that rock wall does mean that it's gone afterwards, so we can just escape the normal way. So now that now that we saved Yunobo, we can go ahead and go back to the chief, who's going to trigger our memory of Daruk. And then we can start making our way to the Rudania assault. Oh, grabbed a finger. Alright, so those are the flame-proof elixirs I was talking about, which all dungeons uses. We're not going to use any of them, because we already have 2 levels of flame-proof protection, which is what you need to go save Yunobo and to do the assault on Naboris. Okay. Now that we got that done, we can make our way to the Dakako shrine, which is going to be another blindfolded one. Go ahead and eat a stamina food here since we have them. No. Actually, didn't eat it, but it's fine. Oh, don't go in that lava, I think. Or that lava. We're getting the volcanic activity because of what Varudania is doing. Alright, last blindfolded shrine. Here we go. Wait for this rock to move. And we made it. And we didn't die either. Oof. And I know that you can't see me, but I promise I have been doing them blindfolded as I promised. Okay, now we start the assault on Varudania, which is maybe one of the most tedious parts of this run. We have to do an escort mission, which is never fun in any game, and this one is no exception. kill these guys with fury rushes. Excuse me. So we got Yunobo free. So now we're going to treat him basically like a cannonball. Knock over that bridge. And then he's going to be the one hitting Rudania to get him to cooperate. Alright. Now that we are ready, I'm going to do a quick wind bomb over to the bridge just to save a little time. And what makes this a tedious escort mission is that Va Rudania releases some sentries that if I or Yunobo walks under, it will cause an eruption from the volcano. And it won't necessarily kill me, but it's a major inconvenience. Alright, so now Yunobo will ask me the best way to communicate if I need his attention, and we agree on whistling. And because it's whistling, I can't do any whistle sprinting. So what I'm doing right now is called a... Sorry about that. A thing called throw cancel sprinting, where I'm basically just mashing B and throw at the same time, so that Link can keep sprinting and moving without slowing down or losing stamina, and not whistling either, which would be very bad. Okay. Very quickly, I need to run up here to do a stasis launch on this boulder to try and knock out this upcoming sentry drone. Which we were able to do just nicely. You kind of like ricochet it off of the boulder in front of it at a specific angle, and we were able to get it pretty cleanly. The backup is just to climb up and push a boulder on top of it, but it's a lot slower, obviously. So now we put a circle bomb in, turn the cannon, and shoot Yunobo. Alright, for this, this goes in 3 phases. That's phase number 1. Phase number 2, I need to climb that hill up ahead and try to make a cycle of the sentry drone. They're kind of moving in a pre-planned pattern, and if I can get there fast enough, then I can kill 2 of them without really wasting much time of waiting. Oops. Oh no. Shoot. Well, that's bad. Wait, do I not have any more magnetic blocks? Uh-oh. Is there a backup? Yes. Come here. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. but it happens. So we're going to take this box with us because it's going to help us clear out some enemies that are coming up ahead. I'm going to use this kind of bridge to block the view of that sentry drone so we can slip underneath. And I'm going to take this up ahead to kill a moblin that's guarding the next cannon. Okay. And I kind of step forward here on the cannon so that Yonobo will jump in quicker. Okay, we're gonna use this to kill these sentry drones here. And then gets out of there. Then we're just gonna sneak by this first one, and I'm gonna make Yonobo stop so that I can take out the other two while he waits. And I need to wait for Yonobo to catch up to do the next cycle, because otherwise it's gonna cause me some issues. Which he turned the wrong way and got us seen. Perfect. Thanks, Yonobo. Luckily we have Nifa's grace to save our skins there. Come on, buddy. He decided to walk left there instead of right, and got us seen. Link. Thanks, buddy. So now we take out these two. And then we put the block down. Because we need it to take out these two moblins here. Alright. And that's the escort over with. Pretty sloppy, but hey, it happens. Getting a perfect escort is not easy. Alright, now we move on to the final Divine Beast. This one, I'd say, is maybe second easiest. There aren't really any cycles to try and meet, and the strats are pretty straightforward. Alright, we've seen it 3 times, you guys know the drill. Daruk is now going to tell us to go activate the main terminal, which we will, because we need to be able to turn Va Rudania from side to side. But we're going to exploit a few things along the way. So a big part of the bow routing for this category is keeping the duplex bow that we used for the assault on Va Naboris. What I'm going to do is I'm going to light this torch, shoot this guy, set a square bomb over here, and then use the light of it to tell me where to shoot to light those things on fire. And then I'm going to open these doors to open this terminal. And what I did was I released a metal block from behind that wall. And now I'm going to hopefully kill this guardian and light a torch at the same time, which looks like I missed, but that's okay. No? There we go. So now we can take out these guys. And activate the main terminal. And next coming up, there's a torch on top of Rudania that they want you to light in order to release an orb. And the intended way is to light a torch and walk it up there. But we're going to do a clever little skip here instead. So now we have control of the Divine Beast. We can kind of rotate him 90 degrees from one side to the other. Leave that guy out of here. Light an arrow on fire, and the torch is up here. And I'm going to shoot this spot and bounce off the wall to light it, releasing the orb. And then we can turn the Divine Beast to activate this terminal. And then shoot this eye. Oops. And then release the orb. And then I'm gonna walk through this keyhole. Like, what the game wants you to do is to look through it and shoot a torch. And we're just gonna walk through. There we go. Now that we're through, we can move this metal block, which we released earlier. And then block those flames. And then turn the Divine Beast to get this terminal. And then tilt it back again. And then crouch through this hole a second time. Oh, come on, game. There we go. And then tilt again. And that's 4 of 5 terminals. Gale up through here. Activate this last one. And now it's time for the boss fight. Fairly clean, not bad. Alright, get the Great Eagle Bow and electric arrows, eat attack up food, and kill Fireblight. And this bow is wooden, so it will burn down, so I'm going to kind of like equip and unequip a couple times just to make sure it doesn't catch on fire and burn out, because I do need it. Not only for this fight, but for Ganon as well. And he's done. Just like that. I'm going to re-equip a metal bow just to make sure that I don't have any issues. So that is all 4 Divine Beasts. That takes care of the dungeons requirement of this category. And we just need to do one more shrine to have enough hearts to get the Master Sword. And that one is in Korok Forest, which is going to be pretty tricky to get to. Because casually, they want you to enter the forest in a specific spot and go on a certain path to get in, but we are going to try and fly through the void out zones and go straight to the last shrine.
Link. Grazie per aver recuperato tutti I colossi sacri e liberato gli spiriti dei campioni. Ora staranno aspettando il momento della tua battaglia contro Ganon al castello di Hyrule.
So basically, Zelda's just telling us now it's time to go fight Ganon.
Ti aspetto.
Which you guys probably knew that anyway. Alright. Oh, fell down. And what I'm going to do is try to get Link to a specific spot where I'm going to do a VR super launch into the forest, right to the Great Deku Tree. Ah, we lag stopped in midair. That's too bad. That can happen. I had a bit too much speed, and the game lagged me out, so that I couldn't do it the way I wanted to. But we'll just set it up and do it again. We got it that time. So that'll take us through the void out zones and right to the last shrine. There we go. Second try, not bad. Alright, last shrine. Done simply enough, just one quick wind bomb. And we're through. Alright, that is 24 shrines. Now, the final requirements of this category are to pull the Master Sword and to kill Ganon. We have a very exciting trick to show off that hasn't been seen in a marathon yet. I'll just give you a quick tease. It's called Spawn Snipe, or Ganon Skip, if you will. And I'll explain more of that when we get there. But first, we need to go to a goddess statue and mash A for a long time. This is going to give us the required amount of hearts that we need to get the Master Sword. Alright, so I'll take this brief interlude as an opportunity to thank everybody for allowing me to do this run for this marathon. I don't know where we are as far as fundraising goes, but I hope that we're on track at least. I want to thank the organizers for selecting this and for letting me do this and share this with you guys. And I hope to at least show the community off in a positive light, show off these tricks well. The Breath of the Wild community is an amazing community. We're all very supportive and very helpful. There are tons of great runners out there if you found this run interesting. Lots of really cool categories. So just 2 more hearts to get, and then we can go ahead and get that sword. Alright, there's our last one. Okay. Got a couple cutscenes to get through here. And the Deku tree will basically tell you, unless you have enough life force to pull the sword, you can't touch it. But we have just enough. Alright. We got the Master Sword. Fulfilling that requirement. And now we make our way to the Sanctum of Hyrule Castle. Once the game lets us move on here. And kind of the tricky thing about Korok Forest is there is tons of lag. And while lag is good in some cases, lag can also make wind bombs fail. So we need to be extremely careful here to get these guys to work out. Okay, that's the first one. We're a bit... okay. I wanted to be a bit more to the right, and now the game is going to void me out to the beginning of the Korok Forest, unfortunately. Yeah. So, a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but not much you can do about that. Alright, so this next one is of high importance. I can escape the forest with just a regular launch, but a super will take me all the way to the Sanctum. I needed to get to a very specific spot here, just past this Korok here, and then go from this spot here. Okay. Looks like we got the super. And looks like our direction is decent. Yep, we're gonna get exactly where we want to go. This little ledge behind the Sanctum. Ah, we fell. Too bad. I should have eaten the stamina food while I had the chance. So here we get a cutscene of Calamity Ganon flying around the castle. We'll go ahead and skip that and then do a wind bomb to get us back in position. I'm gonna try to go off the tree instead. Well, I'll give this one more shot. There we go. Alright, so now upcoming is that spawn snipe I was telling you about. It was discovered that if you shoot an arrow into the cutscene or into the arena here, you can skip the boss fights. Any percent does it to skip Windblight, and there's also a setup to skip Calamity Ganon. If I could just get in position, that looks decent. We'll take that one. All right. So now I aim here, and then eat the attack up potion, and then run into the scene. And what's hopefully going to happen is it's going to freeze the arrows inside the cutscene, inside where Ganon is going to spawn. And if we do it right, he won't be down in the arena with me. So we watch this cutscene happen. Okay. He fell down, we messed it up. Oh well. If I had done it right, the fight would have been skipped completely. So instead, we need to go ahead and get these bomb arrows. And get this claymore to do a different approach. Just get Ganon to back off. Looks like our Great Eagle Bow broke, which is not good. Okay. Luckily we had him at that final phase. So now we're going to do what's called Stun Lock. So, use a Fury, and then try to slam him at a specific timing. Which doesn't allow him to get up, and then just kill him. You know. Too bad we missed the spawn snipe, but we tried to give it a shot. It's a pretty specific setup. But yeah, that's the end of the category. Now all we gotta do is finish off Beast Ganon, and we are done. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for letting me do this run. Thanks to all the runners in the Breath of the Wild community who made this possible. We all work together and support one another, and I'm honored to be the one to kind of carry this into the more public light like this.
Tenterò di contrastare questo rancore maligno, ma non resisterò. Tu colpisci dove brilla.
It looks like we're going to end about 5 minutes under estimate, which isn't great, but, you know, not bad. Oh boy.
Ganon si sta indebolendo. Vigili la luce. Funziona, in difficoltà.
One more shot under his belly, and then we're in the final phase. So that is, again, Master Sword and Dungeons, Breath of the Wild. I am Jimbo_Moses. I also do all shrines and any percent. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I had a really good time doing this. And that's time.
I think I hit a bit early. It's definitely at 2:46, like on the dot.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
There you go. That was Breath of the Wild.